Welcome to my journey through the Bible. This will be a summary of 2 Kings chapter 3, verses 1 through 27. And Jehoram reigned for 12 years, and he did evil in the sight of the Lord, not as his father and his mother. He did remove Baal, but he clung to the idols, and he caused Israel to sin. Now the king of Moab was a sheep master, and he gave the king of Israel 100,000 lambs, 100,000 ram with wool. But with Ahab dead, he began to rebel against Israel. And the king of Israel had counted his men for war, and he sent word to Jehoshaphat, "Will you go down with me as we cause war against Moab, for they have rebelled against Israel?" Now the king of Judah said, "My people are your people, and my horses are your horses. How will we go down?" And the king of Israel said, "We will go through the wilderness of Eden." So the king of Israel, the king of Judah, and the king of Eden went on a 7 days journey, and there was no water. And the king of Israel had called out and said, "The Lord has delivered all three of us kings into the hands of Moab." And Jehoshaphat said, "Is there not a prophet of the Lord that we could inquire of him?" And then the king's servant had said, "Yes, Elijah is one that poured water upon the hands of Elijah." And Jehoshaphat said, "The word of the Lord must surely be with him. Let's go down to him." And Elijah, when he saw the king of Israel, he said, "What do I have to do with you? Go to the prophets of your mother and the prophets of your father." But the king of Israel said, "No, for the Lord has delivered all three of us kings into the hands of Moab." Elijah said, "As the Lord lives, I would not regard you at all. But Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, is with you. So bring me some music." And as the music played, the hands of the Lord was upon Elijah. And then he said, "The Lord has said to dig holes, many holes around in the ground. For you will not see any wind or any rain, but they will be filled with water, so that you and your cattle may drink." God said, "He will deliver the Moabites into your hands. You will take down every fence and every city and every good tree, and stop up all of the wells, and put stones on every good piece of land." And in the morning, when they got up to make their meat offering, there was water that came by the ways of Eden and into their country was full of water. Now, when the Moabites had heard that the kings had came up to fight against them, they gathered everyone that was able and met them at the border. And when the sun had shined onto the water, they shouted, the kings have slayed one another. Let's go down and take their spoils." And when they had came into the camp of Israel, all of Israel had rose up against them and killed the Moabites all the way to their country. Now Israel had beaten down the cities and every good piece of land. They had cast stones upon it. The wheels of the waters were stopped up, and all of the good trees were fallen down. And the king of Moab saw that the battle was too much for him. So he took 700 men with him and went to break through the king of Eden. But they were not strong enough. So the king of Moab had took his son and offered him as a sacrifice upon the wall. Now all of Israel saw this, and they were disgusted and did depart. May God be with you in everything and every way.